Hey guys, we've been having a lot of trouble with the sound, and it sure looks like it's working now. So we're going to give it a try again and keep our fingers crossed. Let me just invite you all to download my ebook and to join my list. And that's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to have to do it another way. All right, we're trying again. And just let me know in the chat if you're able to hear me. It does appear to be working on my end. And if you're able to hear me, please let me know. So we are trying to find out how we know when the angels are with us. How do you know, and how can we increase our communication, and how can we make sure that the angels are we are talking with angels and not with any kind of negative energy. Hold on just a sec, guys. I want to make sure. Just check my microphone because it's been giving me all sorts of headaches. So, first thing I want to share with you is that the angels are always communicating. There is never a time when the angels are not trying to get your attention. And when people discover that I talk with angels, the first thing they want to know is, well, what did you do? Why are you special? How come they want to talk with you and they don't want to talk with me? Well, that's simply not true. The angels want to talk with each one of us, and they are continuously trying to communicate. The problem is that you may not be open to the ways in which they are communicating. So let's get started and discover all of the ways in which they are doing this with you. Remember, the angels work for the divine. They are part of that divine life. And so they have no ego, and they are not trying to win any kind of contest or get one over on you. They are pure beings of love, and their only purpose is to lift you and to guide you so that your life is better. We're going to look today at the ways in which they communicate with you, how you can increase that communication, and then how to know if you are talking with angels and not with a negative energetic source. So the first thing is angels are continuously communicating. They do not pick one person over another or decide that one is good and one is bad. Angels are always excited and delighted to talk with you. One of the ways in which they talk with you are numbers. Now, we just had that big portal 1111. And one of the things that people get confused about with portals, and with this one in particular, is they believe that because it's 1111, that's the only time there's ever going to be any activity. And if they missed it, well, too bad they missed it. But portals move up, going up to the day when the portal is open at its zenith and you get the most interaction, and then they go down. We are now in a particular period where we are going to be in a high vibrational energetic stream from the end of September to January. Right about there. You'll notice that all of the major religions have holidays during this time, and that is not by mistake. That is because this is a very active time when the veil is very thin and it's easy for you to communicate with the angelic realm. But with this portal, you could notice that you might feel very energized or very exhausted. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Just know that during high energetic periods, there is a lot going on and you need to adjust. We are in physical bodies, even though we are energetic beings, we are in physical bodies. So that means that we've got to do our best to adjust to the upgraded energy. Make sure we get enough sleep, that we are meditating regularly, that we're drinking plenty of water, and that we are eating healthy foods. The energy is going to be more intense. You may be increasingly sensitive, or you may feel even more deadened than before. You will have heightened awareness, and it will be easier for you to manifest. But you don't have to wait for a portal to reach its zenith or for a portal to open. What you need to do instead is make sure that you are in your greatest state of alignment. As long as you're in alignment, you're going to be able to have all of the interaction, all of the help and support that you could possibly desire from the angelic realm. So, yes, we did have that 1111 portal open. Yes, you are going to be experiencing portals throughout the year, but no, you do not have to wait for a portal to open. It's just a more intense period. Now, let's take a look at some of the signs that you are probably interacting with and may or may not realize that it's the angels trying to communicate with you. Yay, thank you, Jason. Hallelujah. Jason was my first understanding that we had no sound. This is why angels working again. We are all angels to each other. And that's so important for us to remember. Every time you are helpful, supportive, loving, kind, or considerate, you are being an earth angel to another person. So, numbers, you're going to see them continuously if you are paying attention. Paying attention means you get out of your your tunnel vision self that says, "Oh, everything is bad in my life." And you start getting into your excited, observant self, looking for signs and wonders. When you see 111, 222, 333, all of these repetitive number sequences, that's a sign that the angels are trying to communicate with you. And then take a moment when you see 1111 on your clock or 111 on your clock, or that's the date on the calendar. Take a minute and ask yourself, oh, what was I thinking? Because the angels want you to reinforce that thought. They're telling you, good for you, you're in alignment. Do more of that. Don't worry if you miss it, it's okay. Just kind of be aware. Oh, I need to really pay attention so that I can take advantage of this the next time. And there will always be a next time because angels love to communicate with you and they do it continuously. So the numbers can be repeating, they can be sequential, they can be flashing, whatever way they get your attention. Numbers are a wonderful indication that the angels are near. Also, flashing lights, little pinpricks of lights, not electric lights. These are lights that appear out of nowhere, and it's just a flash. Sometimes they're white, sometimes they're multicolored, but they're always an indicator that the angels are with you. And another thing that I love are unusual appearances. And by this, I mean within the natural world or with weather. So where I live, it's not unusual for us to have hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are all around. What is unusual is to have a hummingbird encounter. And the angels will often send me hummingbirds, ladybugs, special weather things when I am deep in thought, out walking, having a really incredible conversation with them, and they want to reinforce what I'm thinking or talking with them about. When you see an animal in an unusual place, or engaging in unusual behavior, that's a sign from the angels. When the weather suddenly changes and it's just where you are in your particular area, that's a sign from the angels. Pay attention to what you were thinking at that time, especially if you were thinking about something that you wanted to accomplish, because that will be their sign. Hey, yeah, go for it. We're loving this for you. Also, songs on the radio, license plates, billboards. These are all different ways, or numbers on buildings, even street names. These are all different ways in which the angels can communicate with you, but it requires that you be observant. This means you've got to do the work. They're already doing everything they can do. They're communicating continuously. You've got to be open to receiving. That means out of that negative headspace, away from the doubt, fear, the what if, and oh, everything's always going wrong, and over into the space of, wow, what exciting new thing is going to happen next. Another way they communicate with you is any usual, any unusual or synchronistic event. Think about all the times that you were thinking about someone or something, and you got a text or an email or a call, or you were driving by and you saw something that related to that event or heard a song on the radio. Unexpected meetings. You're in a place that you might not usually be, and you run into someone you were just thinking about, or someone that has the answer that you need. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you know. All of us can be angels for each other. And just so you know, even though I've given you a couple of ways in which the angels communicate, they are not limited. Anything that catches your eye, any way in which they get your attention, any way in which they get you to say, oh, that's a possibility. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's the confirmation that I needed. Oh, wow, I'm so excited because I feel so much better. Those are all indicators that the angels are with you and are communicating with you. All answered questions and anything that is out of the ordinary. So don't shut them off by saying, oh, that wasn't a number, so that's probably not them communicating. Instead, just welcome it all. Welcome it, be excited, be delighted, and you're going to be able to increase the amount of time that you are spending talking with the angels. So now let's look at some definite things that you can do that will enable you to improve your communication. Well, one of the things that everybody has to do is clear away the roadblocks. Clear away all of that stuff that you're allowing to stand between you and the life that you desire. For me, I always say go into the heart and clear the heart, because when my heart is happy, my life can reflect that, and wonderful avenues of opportunity open up for me. Beautiful answers come out of what appears to be nowhere because I'm no longer blocking them. So get rid of that interference from a low vibration. Just think of yourself as a cell phone. When you're in a place with poor reception because there are mountains in the way, or there are other natural interference, you know that you're not going to get good reception. Maybe it'll go off again, on again. You'll get a word and then another word, and it's going to be pretty frustrating. But as soon as you get into a place that's clear and the signal is strong, you're going to be able to hear every word clearly. Offer yourself that same gift by clearing away all of the negativity that's interfering with your ability to connect with the angels. And this includes past pain and trauma, previous abuse, and it can even include cultural, social, familial, traditional limitations. These are things that may have been appropriate at the time that they were created, but perhaps they're worn out. They're no longer necessary or helpful. An example of that would be, we all used to be an agrarian economy. We all lived on farms and we needed that farm in order to eat. But now we have machinery, now we have computers, now we have things that have sped us up so much, and it may not be advisable to have a large family. A large family now might really be a burden. But if you were a farming family at a time when the medicine wasn't very advanced, there were high rates of infant mortality, and you needed as many bodies as possible to do the work on the farm so that everyone could eat. So you would want to have so many children in the hopes that some of them would live and there would be enough people to work the farm. So don't get caught up doing what worked yesterday. Allow yourself to step forward into today. Clear away the negativity and the fear. Get glad. Raise your vibration. Find things to be grateful for and focus on those to the exclusion of everything else. But don't lie. I don't want you to tell yourself a lie because that's going to feel like you're being tricked and that's going to put you back in a negative vibrational space. So, if you are filled with fear, worry, anxiety, uh, resentment, anger, and you try to pretend and say, I feel great, I just feel great, even though you've got all of this worry, fear, anxiety, and negativity going on in your head, it's not going to be successful. It's not going to work. I don't want you to say, I don't feel that way. That's not true. I want you to acknowledge it and then say, even though I am feeling this way, I'm going to take a breath and look at everything that's right and focus on that instead because I want to raise my vibration. I want to speak with the angels. I want to be with the angels and filled with joy. Now that brings us to the next point. How do we know that we're dealing with angels? How do we know that we're not being tricked? Well, remember, angels are part of the divine hierarchy. They are 100% love, joy, and peace. You should feel good when you are talking with them. Angels are loving, helpful, kind, honest, and they have the highest good for all of the time. Now, let's take a look at what that means. Let's say I say something that's cruel to another person, and those people run away, that person runs away, and they go to the angels. Angels, I hate Marcia. She did a mean thing or said a mean thing to me, and it hurt my feelings, and I hope you do something mean to her to get back at her. That's not going to make the angels work. It's not going to be effective because the angels don't operate that way. Instead, the angels are going to come to me and help me not be so cruel, not say and do cruel things. And then they are going to the other person and they are going to help that other person feel better about themselves so they won't be vulnerable to negative or cruel comments. That's how you know you are dealing with angels. They are never pushy. They will repeat, they will insist, okay, you got to do this. It's really for your best. But they will allow you to choose whether or not you're going to engage and take action. They're never going to make harmful suggestions. They will not shame you or make you feel badly about yourself. They have the same goal you do, and that goal is to grow closer to God because they are rewarded with expansion just as you are. All of us who are on the aligned path, all of the beings have the same goal, and that is to be as God is. And we do that by helping, loving, and supporting each other. And when you are working with angels, you are going to feel uplifted, helped, guided, supported, and cherished. If it doesn't feel good, it's very unlikely that you are dealing with angels. It's probably a negative energy. The negative energy is going to cut you down. They may make fun of you. They may suggest harmful activities or tell you to cause harm to yourself or another. They may insist that you do it their way, and their way will never be pleasant or expanding. And they will not be able to honor your free will. They're going to push you to do what they want you to do. They will make you feel insecure, less than, unimportant, and as though you are a failure. If you feel any of those things, you are interacting with a negative energy. And anyone can interact with negativity if your vibration is low. Anyone can interact with the angels if your vibration is high. It's not a curse. It's not as if you can never get away from the negativity. It is just you holding a negative vibration, a low vibration, or you holding an uplifted vibration and able to talk with the angels. And all that's happening is that it's showing that you are out of alignment. It is not making fun of you or causing any kind of problem. So, what can you do? If you find that you're out of alignment or that you are engaging with negativity, well, first of all, shut that off immediately. And then take a breath and take a walk. Take a nap, eat something, drink some water, refresh yourself. Listen to some music, talk to a friend, talk to a pet, do something kind for someone else. Spend some time in meditation. Do whatever you need to do to raise your vibration because you're only going to be able to easily communicate with angels when your vibration is high. So now you know absolutely everyone can communicate with angels, and they are always wanting to communicate with you. They will communicate with you nonstop and send you signs, but you must be awake and aware, a good, observant being instead of lost in your own darkness if you're going to be able to see the signs and effectively interact with the angels. Thanks everyone for being here. I so deeply appreciate all of you, and I am sending you lots of love and beautiful days of angel communication. Oh, one more thing. Next time, we will be on Pinterest. We're live this week, Monday the 21st at 6. That's on Pinterest TV. And we are doing part 2 of Overflowing Abundance. The blessing of overflowing abundance. So join me on Pinterest TV, November 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, everybody. Lots of love.